Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh CW live and also streaming and on 93.7 The Fan, simulcasting in Green Tree. That's where we find Chris Mueller tonight. I'm Bob Pompeani. We want your calls on the Bordas & Bordas hotline, which is 412-575-2600. This just in, as we say in the business, Chris. How about Tampa Bay Rays reportedly trading Austin Meadows, a 26-year-old, soon to be 27, but 27. He had 27 home runs, drove in 106. Pirates traded him. I thought he'd be in Tampa for a little longer, but this is how the Rays play the game, to Detroit of all teams. And Detroit now is trying to build something rather quickly. Your thoughts about this trade? And I'm not sure the two guys they get in return to Tampa, but it seems like something the Rays like to do.
Well, I think they're getting, Bob, a shortstop back from the Detroit Tigers and a competitive balance B pick from the Detroit Tigers. Is there any doubt in your mind that if any other team, say the Pirates or another smaller market team, tried to pull this off, it would end in a disastrous failure, but that because it's the Rays doing it, the competitive balance B pick is going to end up B as in the next Barry Bonds? Do you have any doubt in your mind? I don't. The Rays just seem to know what other people don't. I saw a couple people say maybe his stock was for some reason a little down with them. Whether it was or wasn't, they just do everything better than the rest of baseball. So I'm willing to bet that even though on paper this looks like a loss for them, that it's going to end up being a win.
Well, maybe it has something to do with money down the road. Whatever the case, he's only 27. He still has, they have team control over him. It's not like he's going anywhere. Maybe he wants money now. They won't want to give him. I'm just shocked just because of what he did last year. I thought he's emerging as really a good defensive player who can hit for power, hit for average, run, producer, all of these things that you would want at a really good age, and yet here he goes. But they've done this before, so because it's Tampa, you're right. I'm not surprised by it, but overall, I just didn't expect to see it. Not this player. I thought this player would be there for a while.
The weird thing is they have a million shortstops. They have Wander Franco there, who might be the best young player that people who don't pay close attention to baseball don't know about. He might be the next big thing in the sport, but I don't know. It's one of those deals, Bob, where like when the New England Patriots make certain signings or draft certain players other than wide receivers, you just sort of assume that they are thinking two steps ahead of everybody else, or at least that's what I did when they had Tom Brady there, who kind of made it that way. I just think the Rays are largely thinking two steps ahead of the rest of Major League Baseball. That's how they win 100 games in a rugged division last year with a shoestring budget and a fan base that doesn't even exist.
Penguins are going to be back home tomorrow against the Avalanche. It's interesting. We had a conversation today, and I'd like to get your take on this, Chris, and that would be, is it worth winning the division in the Metro if it means you have to play Boston in the first round? The Bruins won again tonight. They may be one of the hottest teams going in hockey. And if they are a wild card team, and if Carolina has to play one, I wonder about that matchup. There are some really good teams, really good matchups. I don't necessarily think it matters where you finish as long as you're playing well at the time, because all these teams are capable of winning it. The way I see it, with the exception of Washington, that's the only team I would have a long shot thinking they could win a Stanley Cup.
Well, your mileage may vary here. Same with the people watching and listening tonight. And the Bruins, it's not like the Bruins aren't a really good franchise, a really good team. They're very disciplined. They've got a lot of really good players. Bergeron has been one of my favorite players for a long time. Pasternak's a great player. Marchand's a complete weirdo, but obviously one of the best going. Yeah, they're all very good players. They have a history. My problem with the Bruins being a team that always gets talked about as a tough out is, yes, they're playing well right now, but there are long stretches in the regular season where I feel like they often look beatable or downright, bad. They go through swoons. But because they're a heavy physical team more often than not, or just this insanely defense-oriented team, I feel like the playoffs cater to what they like to do. It's just one of my pet peeves about the NHL, and I think the playoffs in the NHL are still the best in any sport, but so much of the speed and other things that often makes that fun to watch or makes a team fun to watch tend to go away or dissipate. The Hurricanes are a lot of fun, man, and they are really good. And it would actually bum me out, even though it would pave the road a little bit easier for the Penguins if this happened. it would bum me out if a team like the Hurricanes got bounced in the first round by a relatively plodding Bruins group.
We got to take a break on that note. When we come back, we'll talk about the NCAA championship, which isn't much of one right now, although Kansas has had second half abilities to come back from big deficits, and they're facing one tonight. We'll get into that. We'll talk about other stuff as well, including the Masters and Tiger Woods. Willie or won't he? It's all coming up right here. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call on Pittsburgh CW and 93.7 The Fan.